A big hello to you! I'm Jenny Kirk welcoming you here to another update on the O-Gauge Garden Railway build. In the previous video you might remember that we finished off the major parts of the construction that go underneath the track bed. And in some respects that's probably the most boring part of building any garden railway, but it's really important. And I learnt very much from the mistakes that I made on the previous O-Gauge Garden Railway. And if you're thinking, I don't remember seeing much about that, well, that kind of sums up all of the problems that crept into the build because I was trying to rush to be able to run trains and neglected some of the basics that just made it impossible to run reliably. In this build, I've really made a massive effort to make something that is really durable and yet will run reliably, and hopefully by the end of today's video you'll agree with me that I've certainly managed to produce something that is going to provide years and years of fun and entertainment out in the garden. But let's get on today and let's see how I got on with the build and watch some trains running. Today's video comes in association with Train-O-Matic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabrique.co.uk. Additional support comes from...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest logo.
Today we'll be working first on the ballasting of the last section, and I use a product called Grano Dust, which the best way of describing it is it's like all the bits that chip off paving slabs if you have a lot of them delivered. And I mix this up with cement, and then I just create a dry mix. You don't add water at this stage, and this just makes it a lot easier to get into the track, get it all brushed in. I use one of these large brushes that you can buy for slapping paint onto your fence. It's perfect for this job, and it's really just a case of slowly building up the grano dust and cement mix around the track and then tamping it into place. It's all dry, and we actually bury the track up to the tops of the rails because when I come to add water it does sink down just a little bit. It's always worth as well getting the spirit level out and just having a final check of levels at this stage, because what you don't want is any bits that are kind of sunk down. And once you're happy with this, you've got all of that grano dust mix tamped into place, I start adding some water from the hose pipe. Now you'll need a spray nozzle attachment, because if you just hose it in with a steady stream, you'll blow all of this grano dust out of the way, and you don't want to wash it out. You're just wanting it to just get a nice wetting down, and then it's back in with the brush to work at tamping it in. And you'll see that in places we have to top it up, and that's perfectly normal. Certainly where I had quite a large void under the track, I just add in a little bit more of the dry mix, brush it in, and then add a little bit of water if necessary just to wet that down, and just get it all moving into place. Ballasting outdoors is something that's a lot more forgiving than when you're indoors on a model railway. It's really just a case of working that grano mix in, and you can see it changes colour as the water infuses it, and you don't need to worry about the track sleepers getting covered in this. Believe me, the parts of the track base that have weathered over the winter all of the cement dusting that's over the sleepers that has turned them a kind of brown grey, that all just disappears. It weathers away, leaving you with perfect ballast. The beauty of this ballasting technique is that you do get something that looks much more like ballast and a lot less like cement. Believe me, once it's weathered in, the bluish colour of the grano dust does start to come back through and it looks like ballast, but with the benefit that it is very hard wearing. It protects the track, it stops the track from moving, and you really just don't have to worry. It's pretty much maintenance free. Once this process is complete, it's then a case of leaving it to set undisturbed for 24 to 36 hours. And when it dries, it does tend to go quite pale, but don't worry about this, it will weather down. And don't worry about cleaning the rail tops either, just leave it be, because we deal with that in the next stage of the build. Following day, everything's set, and I use a scrap piece of wood just to clean the cement layer off the top of the rails. Don't use a track rubber because it will just sand it away. A piece of scrap wood will suffice for this quite well. Once you've got the tops of the rails clean, it's time to move over to the track rubber and give them a good polish. I actually did the full garden railway, including the stuff that I built last year, because I was quite eager to get a test train up and running. And this is actually the first time I will have been able to run continuously a long O-gauge train, because otherwise I just don't have the space anywhere for a big layout. So it's quite an exciting moment. Well, I hope you've really enjoyed today's video and found it informative. Maybe there's some great ideas that you've taken away to introduce to your own garden railway build, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments section down below, not just about what you think about this garden railway, but maybe what you're building for yourself. Certainly garden railways are a great thing to have if you have the space. It's quite a different discipline to building a model railway indoors, and I think that the two different techniques do complement one another. Over the coming months and years, I do want to develop the garden railway. It needs a lot of plant life to go in, and I want it to become a real feature in the garden. And that's one of the beauties of a garden railway, that you can really make it something that enhances a garden rather than dominates it. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. Please like, share and subscribe if you've not already done so. And until next time, happy modelling. Bye for now. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabrique.co.uk. Additional support is provided by...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest logo.
I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.